Hey guys, one of the biggest questions that I actually had to ask myself is pretty much I was working towards my goal, right? But there's always a why. There's always a why are you doing this? I mean, a lot of people like to think, that they're doing something for themselves, but usually it's something greater. It's usually something deeper. And I think for me, I was sitting here working last night, and I thought about kind of, back to when I was 8 years old, and I used to, when I first came here, it was like literally just like my mom and my brother and I. My mom was a single mother, raising both of us, and she used to get up at like 4:30 in the morning to go to work. I mean, we didn't even have a car. I remember that she used to walk like a couple blocks, and her friend used to pick her up like on the main road. And I guess in the morning I would, I would wake up whenever my mom woke up. It's funny, she doesn't know that. But I literally wake up every morning, and sometimes I'd actually get up and like, just kind of peek through the door, and I would sit there and just like watch my mom like make her coffee and then pack her lunch. And I, like, deep inside, I could feel her pain. And I used to think about, like, man, how can somebody do that day in and day out? That's not living. That's just not. But I knew. What I realized this when I was older is that my mom was doing this for us. And as I sat there, pretty much seeing my mom through the crack of the door. And I used to tell myself, I mean, I still do, and I still feel remorseful, every now and then, even though, I really had nothing to do with it. But I always told myself, ever since, I think it was like when I was 8 or 9 years old, is that I would do whatever it took to pay my mom back. And that was, I feel like that's been my biggest drive, since I started doing all this. I mean, I went to college, I got a degree, and I started working a regular job, and it didn't take me that long to realize that I wasn't going to be able to help my mom the way I wanted to, and the way I wanted to fulfill her life, with giving her a better life and essentially paying her back. And I knew I had to do something else. I had to go out on my own. I couldn't work I couldn't split my time for an hourly pay. I had to go out and do something else, and that's why I fell into online marketing. And I figured that was the easiest thing for me to start and the most doable. So if I tell you guys, if it's anything that you're doing, any goal that you have to think about your why. Like, what is it? Like, why do you want to do this? Why are you watching this video? What are you trying to learn? Why are you trying to learn different things? And that's because it's got to be deeper, and you got to dig deep sometimes and think about the real reason why you're doing something, or why you want a certain goal. So think about that. Really sit down and think about it, because when you have a why, a reason why you're doing it, for who, it's so much easier to work, and it's so much easier to work and put your heart out and motivate yourself every day. So anyway, guys, I'll leave you with that, and I'll talk to you later. Keep growing yourself. See ya.